ताकि आगे जाके दिक्कत ना हो एग्जामिनेशन के टाइम पे, करेक्ट। सो बेस्ड ऑन दैट विल बी सजेस्टिंग यू कि आपके प्रोजेक्ट में आपका जो भी सर्विस बेस्ड है या प्रोडक्ट बेस्ड है, तो वहां पे कितने कितने आईपीज पॉसिबल है, ट्रेडमार्क्स, डिजाइन्स, कॉपीराइट्स कहां-कहां पे आप अप्लाई कर सकते हैं और उसका इंपैक्ट क्या रहेगा, व्हाट इज कंपल्सरी फॉर यू एंड व्हाट कैन बी ऑप्शनल फॉर यू। हर बार ये नहीं होता है कि हर एक प्रकार के डिजाइन आपको फाइल करनी होती है या हर एक प्रकार का आपको जो टेक्नोलॉजी है वो आपको सेफगार्ड करना होता है। तो दैट वी सजेस्ट टू यू दैट व्हाट ऑल आईपीज यू कैन गो फॉर। तो इस तरह से हम आपको कंसल्टेशन भी देते हैं। सो व्हाटएवर यू नो वेदर इट इज अ प्रोडक्ट और अ सर्विस, यू कैन कम टू अस, यू कैन गो फॉर दैट, करेक्ट। So this is about what kind of activities we perform at the PIC. Okay, apart from that, here you can see that we have a very good outreach with students and faculties and with industries all over. Correct? Currently, we have 50 IP cells. Okay, and the IP cells, they function like they are like nodal agencies. You know, every time everyone coming to GUJCOST PIC is not possible. So for that purpose, in your own institute, you have an IP cell which will be taking care of your IP needs. Correct? Those those IP coordinators in your institute, they will be collecting the information from you and they will be guiding you. Okay, and there will be a connection between the PIC main department and the students. Correct? So that is the idea behind having nodal centers in the institute itself, so that we can reach, we can cherish the IPR needs at the student level. Correct? So there you can see that currently we are having 50 plus IP cells, and we are looking forward to establishing 100 IP cells, so that most of the students in Gujarat can directly be connected to this better facilitation. Okay. Similarly, at district levels, we are having IP labs. So suppose there are school students or there are individual researchers, they want to connect with us. So the nodal agencies would be the IP labs which are established in every district, and we have IP officers which are there in every IP lab. And these are also associated with the community science centers. Okay. This is a common disclaimer which we all have. आपने देखा होगा आगे जितने भी प्रोफेसर ने लेक्चर वगैरह दिए, तो they had a disclaimer that this is all for the education purpose. Okay. No commercial utilization, and that is very very important whenever you are compiling data for to avoid copyright issues. Okay. Fine. So these are some of the points which will be covered. Okay. Now for the very first aspect, whenever you're doing patent search, तो पैटेंट सर्च का सबसे पहला पर्पस या ऑब्जेक्टिव जो होता है वो नॉवेल्टी प्रूव करना होता है, करेक्ट। एंड नॉवेल्टी जो है, ओके, व्हेनेवर यू टॉक अबाउट नॉवेल्टी, देयर इट इज दैट टू टाइप ऑफ एस्पेक्ट्स आपको देखने पड़ते हैं इन दैट। द वेरी फर्स्ट इज द पैटेंट रिलेटेड सब्जेक्ट मैटर। ओके, जो भी आपका टेक्नोलॉजी है, जो भी आपका आइडिया है, एंड वेदर इज ऑलरेडी पैटेंटेड, राइट। एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट इज जस्ट अ स्मॉल पोर्शन ऑफ दैट, बट जो नॉन पैटेंटेबल लिटरेचर है, इवन दैट इज इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट। ओके, और आप अपनी थीसिस वगैरह जब भी बनाते हैं, एट दैट टाइम लिटरेचर रिव्यू वगैरह तो आप करते ही हो, राइट। सो दैट इज आल्सो अ मेन पोर्शन कि जहां पे आप नॉवेल्टी एस्पेक्ट जो है वो आप पैटेंट के डॉक्यूमेंट्स में भी सर्च करेंगे और आप अपने लिटरेचर में भी सर्च करेंगे। लिटरेचर में तो आप एज अ मैंडेटरी आप सर्च करते ही हैं, तो अभी आपको यही करना है कि बस पैटेंट सर्च भी आपको ऐड करना है, सो दैट द एंटायर नॉवेल्टी सर्च इज कंप्लीटेड वेरी नाइसली। Okay, now what kind of pattern searches can be made? So in that, either अगर आपको precisely किसी period में उनको search करना है डेटा वगैरह, तो आप date search कर सकते हैं, number search is possible, keyword search, chemical classification search, pattern classification search, अलग-अलग प्रकार के searches आप कर सकते हैं based on what you want and what information you require, right? But जब भी आप novelty search करते हैं, तो in that case, keyword search and the classification search, these two searches are enough for proving your novelty or searching your novelty aspect. Okay, now for keyword search, the first and the very most important thing is the brainstorming what you have to do, and that you can say that suppose आपका कोई भी project है, right? Whenever you are starting your M.Pharm का project आप चालू करने वाले हैं, या फिर आपका जो भी B level का आपका जो project है वो आप चालू कर रहे हो, तो जब भी आप कोई project चालू करते हो, you come up with an idea, right? So whenever you are coming up with an idea, फिर आप लिटरेचर रिव्यू वगैरह करते हैं, एंड देन उसका मेथड प्रोसीजर वगैरह आप सर्च करते हो, तो वो एक आपका इन रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी का पार्ट है, दैट दिस इज द वे बाय व्हिच यू come up with your proposal or you design your project, correct? So now what we say is that वो तो आप करते ही हैं, वो सही है, कुछ गलत नहीं है इसमें, right? But for novelty search, we request you that आप आपका जो भी आइडिया है उसको आप 3 पार्ट में डिवाइड कीजिए. The very first would be the structural components of your idea. The second would be the functional components of your idea. यानी आपका आइडिया है तो एसेट क्या है, वो डिवाइस है, डिवाइस में कौन से पार्ट्स वगैरह हैं, तो आपके स्ट्रक्चरल कंपोनेंट हो जाएगा. Then your functional component, कि आपका डिवाइस जो है किस टेक्नोलॉजी से काम कर रहा है, वो कैसे काम कर रहा है, क्या सॉफ्टवेयर वगैरह अगर आप यूज कर रहे हैं तो सॉफ्टवेयर को कैसे आप इंटीग्रेट करते हैं, एआई यूज करके तो कैसे उसको आप इंटीग्रेट करते हैं. एंड देन लास्टली द प्रोसेस पैरामीटर्स. प्रोडक्शन वगैरह भी होता है कई बार, सपोज कोई केमिकल एंटाइटी वगैरह है तो वहां पे लास्ट भी होता है प्रोसेस पैरामीटर्स. हाउ डू यू वांट प्रोड्यूसिंग दैट पर्टिकुलर डिवाइस और दैट पर्टिकुलर मैकेनिज्म. ओके, so the brainstorming will involve that you divide your idea into these 3 components and then start with the basic title और abstract search से आप चालू कर सकते हैं initially, right? Claims वगैरह आप लास्ट में भी अगर देखेंगे, एक बार आपका टाइटल abstract search वगैरह हो जाता है and then you go in your final stage, claims वगैरह के आप बाद में भी search कर सकते हैं because claims are somewhat difficult to understand, but abstracts are very clear, they are very short and very informative. Okay, so title and abstract submission can give you a brief about it. Correct? Okay. So faculties के लिए ज़्यादा important है कि जब भी आप बच्चों के प्रोजेक्ट्स वगैरह डिजाइन करते हैं तो at that time आप पैटर्न सर्च को भी, जैसे लिटरेचर सर्च होता है वैसे आप पैटर्न सर्च को भी उतना ही इंपॉर्टेंस देंगे. Okay, now keyword search के लिए these are some of the important operators which are useful in the different websites. Okay, website के accordingly operators जो है boolean operators normally same होते हैं हर जगह हर website पे, but जो translation और wildcard entries है वो website के accordingly थोड़ी बहुत बदलती रहेगी. But again आप कोई भी website खोलेंगे तो वहाँ पे examples वगैरह दिए होते हैं, आपको बस उसको follow करना है. Okay. Fine. So this is an example. आपको जो मटेरियल दिया गया है उसमें भी एग्जांपल डिस्क्राइब किया गया है और यहाँ पे भी सेम एग्जांपल इज बीइंग देयर. A very simple example, smart inhaler for asthma. Okay, you want to design a smart inhaler device for asthma. Okay, so there your structural words would be inhaler, spacer, nebulizer, dose counter, canister, flow sensor, pressure sensor, right? So these are the part of the devices. Some are the synonyms of the device of the inhaler. Right? Some of them are the synonyms of the device that is inhaler, and most of them are the part of the important part of your devices. So these are the structural components of your idea. Are you getting it? You're trying to shortlist the structural components of your idea. Okay. The next would be the functional component. The functional component will focus on how your device will work. Your functional component will focus on how your device will work. In that, you can have that the word smart. Okay, so in many panel applications, directly the word smart has been there, so that you can add directly over here. Connected, Bluetooth, wireless. These are the means by which a smart application is possible. So that is your functional aspect of your idea. Okay. Fine. We're still talking about the idea. Then we have the process and the other parameters that cloud upload कैसे होता है, स्मार्टफोन ऐप वगैरह आप डेवलप करते हैं तो कैसे उसको आप कनेक्ट करते हैं. The breathing pattern analysis टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट है जो उस डिवाइस के फंक्शनिंग के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. फ्लो रेट वगैरह कैसे मेजर होता है और कैसे आप उसको डिवाइस पर कनेक्ट करते हैं. So all these are the detailed process parameters which are important for the functioning of your idea. Okay. So this is how the keyword search can be done. And in case if you want to go for the the classification, correct? So classification में ये है that CPC classification and IPC classification. India follows IPC classification. और अभी ये हो गया है कि दोनों classification में there are not much difference, almost similar हो गए हैं. Okay. So there you can see that I'll give you the simplest idea that how to get this क्लासिफिकेशन सर्च कैसे करना है. तो आपका जो भी टॉपिक है उसके रिलेटेड कोई भी एक पैरेलल एप्लीकेशन, यूएस एप्लीकेशन या यूरोपियन एप्लीकेशन आप खोलिए, राइट? और वहां पे आप सीपीसी क्लास या आईपीसी क्लास दोनों दिया होंगे, तो वो आप देख लीजिए कि कौन सा क्लास वहां पे दिया है और फिर उसकी फैमिली को बैक ट्रेस कीजिए. So then you will be getting all the related applications. और वैसे आप उसको बैक ट्रेस करके आप जो क्लासिफिकेशन सर्च है वो आप फॉलो कर सकते हैं. ओके, क्लासिफिकेशन सर्च नॉर्मली केमिकल कंपोनेंट्स वगैरह जो होते हैं, जिनके बहुत बड़े बड़े केमिकल नेम्स वगैरह होते हैं, तो उनके केस में ये होता है दैट डायरेक्टली आपको वो केमिकल कंपोनेंट के नेम्स कहीं पे सर्च देखने को नहीं मिलेंगे, राइट. सो इन दैट केस द क्लासिफिकेशन सर्च बिकम्स मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. Okay, so whether you want to go for the keyword search or the classification search, it is depending on what project you are handling. Right? अगर आप keyword search ये 3 components आपके project के separate कर सकते हैं, which means keyword search is good for you. और अगर ये structural components वगैरह आप easily search नहीं कर पा रहे हो, तो फिर the classification search is better for you. Okay. Fine. So this is how we use the Boolean operators. The very first is and is very common कि जहाँ पे ये रहेगा that inhaler and asthma. So wherever these two words are together, वो सारे जो applications है वो display हो जाएंगे. Okay. Then we have the word or, which means that either or is there. Okay. Not का मतलब ये रहेगा that which includes the first term but does not include the second term. Okay. यानी asthma and not allergic rhinitis. And those devices which are useful only for asthma will be you will be searching them. Okay. Then we have XOR. These are not common for all the websites. Okay. But one term or both term, but not the both term. ऐसा है one or the other, but दोनों एक साथ नहीं होंगे. That is XOR. यानी inhaler रहेगा या asthma रहेगा, but दोनों एक साथ नहीं रहेंगे. That is XOR. Fine. Similarly, we are having the other proximity operators. Proximity operators में ये होता है कि भी कंपल्सरी नहीं कि हर बार जो टर्म है स्मार्ट इनहेलर एक साथ ही देखने को मिलेगा आपको, राइट. और अगर ये रहेगा, कई बार ये होता है कि पहले डॉक्यूमेंट पे आपको इनहेलर वर्ड मिलेगा और फिर उसी डॉक्यूमेंट के 5वें पेज पे आपको स्मार्ट मिलेगा, राइट. बट जब आप इनहेलर एंड स्मार्ट ये वर्ड आप सर्च में डालेंगे तो आपको वो डॉक्यूमेंट दिखेगा. क्यों? बिकॉज पहले पेज पे इनहेलर था और 5वें पेज पे स्मार्ट है. नॉट कंपल्सरी दैट बोथ वुड बी रिलेटेड. जितना नजदीक में ये वर्ड्स रहेंगे तो उतना उनका रिलेशन ज्यादा रहेगा. सो विद दैट एस्पेक्ट इन माइंड ये जो एडजेसेंट वाला जो टर्म है वो यूज किया गया है. ओके. देन नियर वाला टर्म है वो भी इसी के लिए है. नियर में भी पर्टिकुलरली आप इनहेलर फिर नियर 5 सेंसर, यानी इनहेलर के 5 शब्द के अंदर आपका सेंसर वर्ड रहेगा, उतना नजदीक है तो वो सारे एप्लीकेशंस वैसे ही एप्लीकेशंस आपको यहाँ पे देखने को मिलेंगे. फिर वो एप्लीकेशन के जिसमें पहले पेज पे इनहेलर था और 5वें पेज पे सेंसर था, वो एप्लीकेशन अपने आप चली जाएगी. यहाँ पे ये होती है, सारे जो भी ऑपरेटर्स वगैरह हैं इनका पर्पस ये होता है कि जब आप सिंपल सर्च करते हैं तो आपको thousands of documents मिलते हैं. Now those thousands of documents, all the documents may or may not be related to your work. So you do not get a very clear idea कि इतने सारे डॉक्यूमेंट आपके काम के हैं या नहीं. And it is not possible humanly कि आपको 1000 डॉक्यूमेंट्स खुद से पढ़े. So वो जो नंबर ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट्स जो आते हैं ऑन योर सर्च, उनको कम करने के लिए we use these operators and जो भी हमारे keywords हैं उनको हम इस तरह से अलग-अलग प्लेस करके we study के भी जो बहुत ही related applications है उतनी ही शॉर्टलिस्ट होके आपके सर्च में आए और उनको आप डिटेल में देख के फिर आप अपना जो भी कंक्लूजन वगैरह है, जो भी आपका कंसेप्ट है वो आप देख सको. Okay, these are some wildcard entries. You can call them asterisk sign. अगर किसी सपोज इनहेल है तो इनहेल के बाद अगर आपने asterisk sign लगा लिया तो all these words would be searched. इनहेलर भी आपके सर्च लिस्ट में आएगा, इनहेलर्स भी आएगा, इनहेलेशन भी आएगा, करेक्ट. बट अगर आपने asterisk sign के बाद एक नंबर लगा लिया तो उसका ये मतलब रहेगा that L के बाद सिर्फ 2 ही लेटर्स तक इंक्लूड होगा. तो यहाँ पे ये रहेगा सिर्फ इनहेलर आएगा, इनहेलर्स और इनहेलेशन वर्ड containing documents जो है वो आपके सर्च में नहीं आएंगे. Okay, so this is one of the wildcards, बहुत widely use होता है ये. Again, question mark है, ये भी आप use कर सकते हो as a wildcard entry कि जहाँ पे only one term could be anything. Example nebulizer यहाँ पे है तो आप ये देख सकते हैं कि अगर मैंने बीच में question डाला है तो उसका ये मतलब होगा that nebulizer ZER and nebulizer SCR. Okay, both terms will be in your documents containing both the terms will be in your search list. अगर आप सिर्फ नेबुलाइजर डालेंगे तो नेबुलाइजर SER वाले जितने भी डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं वो आपको नहीं दिखेंगे. So to be more precise and to have a wider search area, तो आप यहाँ पे you can use these kind of operators. Okay. हैशटैग भी कई बार यूज करते हैं बिकॉज समटाइम इट सो हैपेंस दैट एक या दो कैरेक्टर अलग है, स्पेलिंग्स अगर एक से ज्यादा स्पेलिंग्स है, कई एग्जांपल इज कलर, कलर का स्पेलिंग्स ULORB है, CULOURB है, सो दोस वर्ड्स व्हिच आर हैविंग मोर देन वन स्पेलिंग्स, तो उनके लिए हैशटैग विल बी यूटिलाइज्ड. Okay, so these are very precise wildcard entries which you can utilize in your different search engines. Okay, now let us go through the combined search stream where you can combine the different words and or asterisks, ये सारे आप combine कर सकते हैं. Okay, but ये कब possible है कि अगर आपने initially जो भी searches वगैरह हैं वो आपने देख लिए हैं, right, and you are getting too long of बहुत ज़्यादा hits मिलती हैं आपको. Hits क्या होता है कि जब भी आप basic simple search करते हैं तो number of documents which have been displayed because of your search, they are known as the hits. और वो हिट्स जो आपका है वो जितना हो सके उतना कम नंबर रहेंगे, which means your search is good. अगर आपको 1000, 2000, 3000 डॉक्यूमेंट्स मिल रहे हैं, which means कि आपको आपका सर्च जो है वो और प्रिसाइज करना पड़ेगा. Okay, so this is how you can combine the different boolean operators and the wildcard operators. Okay, यहाँ पे देखिए जो पहला एग्जांपल हमने बताया है कॉम्बिनेशन का, वहाँ पे हमने स्ट्रक्चरल कंपोनेंट्स, फंक्शनल कंपोनेंट्स और उसका जो एप्लीकेशन है वो सभी को हमने कंबाइन करके सर्च करने का कोशिश किया हुआ है यहाँ पे. ओके, एंड द सेकंड जो है यहाँ पे सेंसर बेस्ड एडहेरेंस स्टडी किया है हमने यहाँ पे. तो यहाँ पे हमने प्रॉक्सिमिटी के जो बूलियन ऑपरेटर्स हैं वो कैसे यूज करते हैं वो दिखाया हुआ है. ओके, एंड लास्ट एग्जांपल इज ऑफ द IPC क्लासिफिकेशन, दैट इफ यू वांट टू गो फॉर IPC क्लासिफिकेशन तो किस तरह से यू कैन गो फॉर द IPC क्लासिफिकेशन फॉर द सेम a project title or for the same idea which we are searching for. Okay, so different kind of searches are possible. Fine. So just keep the example in mind, and after that we can go for the practice session also. Okay, these are pattern classification की हमने बात की थी. There are two kind of pattern classifications. The IPC classification is the international pattern classification. WIPO द्वारा जो classification दिया गया है that is the IPC classification. तो जितनी भी countries इस treaty में है, all of them they follow the IPC classification particularly, and the CPC classification is the cooperative patent classification system which is being developed by the USPTO office and the EPO office. Correct? So initially ये था कि there was a vast difference between these two classifications, but now to come to a common platform, ये सारे जो classifications हैं they have become very simple and बहुत similar terms वगैरह हैं classifications. You can find this classification on the different websites which are being given over here. आप right click करके you can go through these different websites. Okay, fine. Here you can see the difference between the two classifications. Right. So there you see the number A is the section, the main section, which is the human necessities, and then in the human necessities, the number 23, right, stands for the food and stuffs. Okay, and then नंबर 23 जो आपका क्लास है, क्लास के बाजू में जो नंबर होगा वो जो अल्फाबेट होगा वो आपका सब क्लास रहेगा. सो कोका, कोकोआ, कोकोआ प्रोडक्ट्स, चॉकलेट सब्स्टिट्यूट्स, कोकोआ प्रोडक्ट्स, confectionaries, chewing gums, ice creams, all these are included in A23G. Then further you can go कि उसके बाद भी सारे ग्रुप्स होते हैं. Okay, so 9-00 is the first group. This is the first group which includes frozen sweets, ice confectionaries, ice creams and mixtures. And then 00 की जगह different numbers जो है वो उसके सब ग्रुप्स हैं. यानी 9 जो रहेगा वो as such फ्रोजन स्वीट्स के लिए कॉमन रहेगा, और उसके बाद 9 के बाद जो भी नंबर्स वगैरह आएंगे वो प्रिसाइसली फ्रोजन स्वीट्स बनाने के जो भी स्टेप्स वगैरह है, प्रोसीजर्स है, जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स वगैरह यूज होते हैं, तो उन्होंने एक एक करके सबको अलग अलग ग्रुप में, सब ग्रुप्स में डाला हुआ है. राइट, सो आपका जो भी आइडिया है तो उसके लिए आप प्रिसाइसली इस तरह का एक सब ग्रुप सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं, और वो पूरा सब ग्रुप जो रहेगा उसका स्टडी आप अच्छे से करेंगे तो दैट वुड बी वेरी यूजफुल टू यू. ओके, तो पूरा क्लास स्टडी करने की जरूरत नहीं है. आपके क्लास में से फ्रॉम द क्लास विच पर्टिकुलर सब ग्रुप तक आप जा रहे हो, तो ऑल दोस काइंड ऑफ सब ग्रुप्स यू कैन स्टडी फॉर योर पैटर्न सर्च. कई बार ये होता है कि मोर देन वन क्लासिफिकेशन भी होता है. ओके, depending on your product. This is one more example. Liposomes, it is a kind of lipid-based vesicular delivery system है liposomes. So here you can see that again in the same class, in the same section, that is human necessities, 61, that is medical or veterinary schemes, sciences and hygiene. And then you can see that in K9 particularly 127 number, वहाँ से आपका liposome का detailed description चालू होता है. In that liposomes में भी कितने types के liposomes हैं, क्या procedure वगैरह है, all of them are been in all these details are being classified in the CPC class, or you can say the IPC class. So this is how the classes are there, and these classes can help you to backtrace your product, and you can search these classes directly for searching your idea or getting more information about your idea. Okay. Now let us talk about the different search engines which you can utilize. So about the search engines, there are two types of search engines: the free search engines which are available, and the paid engines. No, हम जब भी चाहते हैं तो people have a question that which kind of search engine you are using, maybe purchase करना है. But if you actually see, we are having so many different search engines which are already freely available, and they have a good number of good data with them. So okay, so the very first is Patent Scope by WIPO. The very interesting thing about the Patent Scope is that it also has the non-patent literature to be included. उसका ऑप्शन होता है, आप जैसे टिक करेंगे तो नॉन पैटर्न लिटरेचर भी इंक्लूड होगा आपके सर्च में, यानी आपका लिटरेचर सर्च और पैटर्न सर्च दोनों एक साथ आप कर सकते हो यहाँ से. ओके, और यही सेम फैसिलिटी जो है वो पैटशेयर भी प्रोवाइड करता है. पैटशेयर विद मनी एंड पेटेंट स्कोप फ्रीली आपको वो देता है, सेम सर्विस. ओके, देन वी हैव एस्पेसनॉट. एस्पेसनेट, इसका जो सर्च इंजन है, इट इज वेरी फ्रेंडली एंड वेरी गुड टू यूज. इट वर्क्स वेरी वेल एंड वी डू प्रेफर एस्पेसनेट. USPTO भी आप सर्च कर सकते हैं फॉर US रिलेटेड पैटर्न्स. इनपास इज द इंडियन सर्च इंजन जो हम काफी यूज करते हैं. एंड देन अगेन फॉर द ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज, जब भी हर्बल मेडिसिन या हर्बल फॉर्मुलेशंस वगैरह आप लेके आते हैं, तो इन दैट द TKDL सर्च इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. TKDL सर्च अभी कॉमन पीपल के लिए भी खुला है, सो यू कैन मेक दिस काइंड ऑफ सर्चेस इन TKDL आल्सो. फाइन. देन कमर्शियल बट फ्री के जो वेबसाइट्स वगैरह हैं वो भी यहाँ पे है. यू कैन सी द सर्च इंजन्स व्हिच आर कमर्शियल बट वे आर कंप्लीटली फ्री. Google patent is very very common. It works very well. I can advise कि if you're new to it, आप नया नया सीख रहे हो, तो Google patent search जो रहेगा वो बहुत ज्यादा फ्रेंडली रहेगा आपके लिए. You can go through that. First choice you can have Google patents. Okay. Then fine. हाँ, but again Google पैटर्न जो रहेगा वो पैटर्न सर्च के लिए रहेगा, और Google स्कॉलर है जो नॉन पैटर्न लिटरेचर सर्च. तो Google प्रोवाइड्स बोथ द ऑप्शंस फॉर यू. नॉन पैटर्न सर्च भी मिलेगा आपको और पैटर्न सर्च भी मिलेगा यहाँ पे. सो नोवेल्टी कंप्लीटली आप Google से सर्च कर सकते हैं. पैटर्न लेंस इज अगेन अ फ्री एंड कमर्शियल इंजन व्हिच इज अवेलेबल. देन दीज आर द कमर्शियल पेड इंजन्स. इन दैट पैटशेयर एंड एक्सेल स्काउट जो है वो जेम पोर्टल भी अवेलेबल है. तो जो भी गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूट्स वगैरह है, यू कैन बाय आउट दीस डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम द जेम पोर्टल आल्सो. पैटशेयर जो है वो पैटर्न सर्च वगैरह के लिए है, लैंडस्केपिंग सब कुछ करके देता है. एक्सेल स्काउट जो है वो कई बार AI सर्विसेज भी प्रोवाइड करता है. Okay. So I think this is about how to go for it, right? Time is short, but you have an example. आप चाहो तो अपने लैपटॉप से बीच में जैसे हम फ्री टाइम वगैरह होता है, you can go for the searches, and the entire team is available over here. In our team we have Mr. Mohin. He is a trademark agent, a patent agent, and a project scientist 1. Let them see you. Okay, fine. Then we have Masuma. Where is Masuma? She is project scientist 1. Mohit looks after the patent filing in our department, and Masuma looks after the design filing. Okay, she is project scientist. Okay, so we can just stop over here. For any queries, you can contact later. Thank you so much, madam, for such an interactive session. If you have any queries, you can connect with us about those later. We have with us a very distinguished guest, Professor Dr. Unnat Pandit sir,
the current Controller General of Patent Design Trademark for the Government of India. In his capacity as the head of the Intellectual Property Office, Dr. Pandit oversees administration of patents, trademarks, designs, copyright, and GIs across nation. A visionary innovation guru with over 20 years of experience, he has bridged the gap between academia, government policy, and industrial application. On this occasion, to set the tone for our Let's Talk IP, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Dr. Unat Pandit, sir.
सभी को नमस्ते. कैन यू हियर मी?
यस सर.
आज एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण दिवस है, स्वामी विवेकानंद जयंती, और मुझे अत्यंत आनंद है कि गुजकोस के साथ मिलकर बौद्धिक संपदा कार्यालय आज एक नई पहल कर रहा है. Let's Talk IP is truly going to be rewarding to build the IP culture in the country. IP ecosystem is going to get strengthened with these kind of initiative. स्वामी विवेकानंद जी ने भी बौद्धिक जागृति के ऊपर और बौद्धिक जागृति के द्वारा राष्ट्रीय चेतना की ओर आगे बढ़ने के लिए सबको प्रेरित किया है. भारत को विकसित भारत बनने के लिए यह आत्मविश्वास चाहिए, ये शक्ति चाहिए जिससे बौद्धिक संपदा के द्वारा और नवाचार अनुसंधान में ओतप्रोत होते हुए हम ऐसे नवीन अनुसंधान को बढ़ावा दें. सारे ही नवाचार या अनुसंधान एक विचार से प्रेरित होता है, और इस विचार को आंतरिक शक्ति देने का जागरण, ये राष्ट्र की प्रगति का मूल है. और इसी के ऊपर विवेकानंद जी ने जोर दिया था. जो उनका बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण कोट हम जो हर जगह साइट करते हैं, अराइज अवेक एंड स्टॉप डोंट टिल दी यू हैव अवेकन. ये जो बात है ना, ये एक प्रकार से बौद्धिक जागृति का विचार उसको बल देती है. हर ऐसे अनुसंधानकर्ता को व्यक्तिगत रूप से अपने अंतर मन की क्षमता को पहचानना है. उस क्षमता के द्वारा कैसे अनुसंधान और नवाचार करके वो दिव्यता हासिल कर सकता है, जिससे कि समाज में जो ऐसी समस्याएं हैं, उन समस्याओं के ऊपर उस अज्ञानता से जिन समस्याओं का समाधान नहीं मिल रहा है, उस समाधान को ढूंढने का प्रयास करना चाहिए. लेट्स टॉक इज नॉट जस्ट वन सच इनिशिएटिव. ये एक जागृति का एकमात्र ऐसा नया प्रयास नहीं है. ये प्रयास ऐसा है जहां समाज में जिन जिन समस्याओं के ऊपर राष्ट्र की प्रगति के लिए हम चैलेंजेस फेस कर रहे हैं, उस चैलेंज से ऊपर उठकर ऐसे नए प्रयासों को बढ़ावा देने का एक अभियान है. लेट्स टॉक आईपी इज नॉट जस्ट वन सच इनिशिएटिव, but it is going to inculcate the activities which will nurture the intellectual property creation. IP by design, ये जो प्रयास बौद्धिक संपदा कार्यालय कर रहा है, ऑफिस ऑफ सीजीपीडीटीएम की ओर से इस प्रयास को बल देने का एक नया अभियान छेड़ा हुआ है. वहां पर कोई भी समस्या का समाधान अगर हमें ढूंढना है तो उस समस्या की जड़ तक जाना जरूरी है, और जड़ तक जाके अवेलेबल जो नॉलेज है, ज्ञान आज के समय में उपलब्ध है, उसका प्रयोग करके नए नवाचार को बढ़ावा देना, ये पूरा कंसेप्ट है, वो डिजाइन थिंकिंग का कंसेप्ट है। डिजाइन थिंकिंग के कंसेप्ट के माध्यम से नए नवाचार को तैयार करना, उसमें से नई बौद्धिक संपदा को जागृत करना, और ये जागृत करने के साथ साथ बौद्धिक संपदा का सम्मान करने का भी विवेक युवाओं के अंदर प्रेरित करना, ये आज के राष्ट्रीय युवा दिवस का हम सबका संकल्प है। ये समाज में बौद्धिक संपदा केवल एक सर्टिफिकेट न रहते हुए उसको समाज के लिए और राष्ट्र के लिए कैसे उपयोगी बना सकते हैं, यह व्यवस्था का निर्माण करना, इस व्यवस्था के सुचारू संचालन के लिए आत्मनियंत्रण द्वारा बौद्धिक संपदा का विवेक सभी युवाओं में स्थापित हो, शायद ये आज का राष्ट्रीय युवा दिवस का एक महासंकल्प बने। और इस महासंकल्प लेने के अवसर तक, जब तक हम लक्ष्य की प्राप्ति न करें, तब तक उठो जागो, और तब तक हमें उस प्रवृत्ति में, उस कर्म में कर्मठ होकर निरंतर रहना है। राष्ट्रीय चेतना के लिए जो विकसित भारत का निर्माण करना है ना, उस विकसित भारत के निर्माण के लिए इस चेतना को हमें प्रज्वलित करके रखना होगा। आने वाले कम से कम 2 दशकों तक ये चेतना सभी युवाओं के अंदर प्रज्वलित रहे, ये भी एक लेट्स टॉक आईपी का उद्देश्य है। सभी युवाओं को कर्मठ होकर इस महामुहिम में जुड़ना होगा। प्रेरित युवा शक्ति समाज की उन समस्याओं के ऊपर काम करे, उन समस्याओं के अनुसंधान के ऊपर जो भी भारत सरकार की व्यवस्था है, रिसर्च डेवलपमेंट इनोवेशन फंड, इंक्यूबेशन सपोर्ट सिस्टम, अटल टिंकरिंग लैब, ये सारे जो व्यवस्था निर्माण की हुई, उसका उद्देश्य केवल यही है कि बौद्धिक जागृति को बल देना, नवाचार को और बौद्धिक जागृति के द्वारा एक नवोन्मेष का संगम स्थापित करना, बौद्धिक संपदा की प्रोटेक्शन भी लेना। भारत को अगर विश्व गुरु बनना है तो ये सारी आज की हमारी आवश्यकता है। उन आवश्यकता के ऊपर आज इस पर मंथन करना बहुत जरूरी है, और ये मंथन करने के लिए सभी नवाचारकर्ताओं को, रचनात्मक चुनौतियों का समाधान ढूंढने वालों को एक सशक्त पहचान देना, ये भी एक हमारी आवश्यकता है। और ये सभी आवश्यकताओं की पूर्ति के लिए बौद्धिक संपदा कार्यालय आज गौरवान्वित है कि कैसे गुजकोस के साथ मिलकर एक लेट्स टॉक आईपी इस इनिशिएटिव को आज महत्वपूर्ण दिवस पर हम सब सुचारू रूप से शुरू करने जा रहे हैं। मेरे गुरु प्रोफेसर निशित देसाई जी आज इस विषय पर अपने विचार व्यक्त करने वाले हैं। एक युवा होने के नाते मुझे भी इस मुहिम में प्रेरणा लेकर कैसे विकसित राष्ट्र के निर्माण में बौद्धिक जागृति को प्रेरित करना चाहिए, इस आत्मबल को साक्षात करने का आज अवसर मिल रहा है। तो मैं आप सभी की तरह आज गौरवान्वित हूं कि ऐसे प्रयास को हम शुरू करने जा रहे हैं, और इस प्रयास के साथ साथ एक ऐसी सीरीज ऑफ डिस्कशन को भी हम विकसित भारत के लिए, राष्ट्रीय एकता को मजबूत करने के लिए हम शुरू कर रहे हैं। और इस गौरवान्वित पल का मुझे हिस्सा बनने का यहाँ वर्चुअल माध्यम से जो गुजकॉस्ट में मुझे अवसर दिया है, डॉक्टर साहू और उनकी पूरी टीम का मैं यहाँ पर धन्यवाद करता हूँ, अभिनंदन करता हूँ। और इस प्रयास को हम निरंतर रूप से इस चिंगारी को जागरूक रखेंगे। इस संकल्प के साथ हम आज इस कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत करें। मुझे यहाँ अपने विचार व्यक्त करने का अवसर दिया, इसके लिए मैं आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ, अभिनंदन करता हूँ। और आने वाले समय में इस चिंगारी को और नए मुहिम तक ले जाएंगे, ऐसी मैं आशा रखता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, sir, for such an insight on IP, Baudik Sampada, intellectual property. Now, to continue the section of Let's Talk IP, we have with us a very formidable academic leader and internationally recognized researcher with a career spanning over 40 years in higher education, scientific administration, and pioneering chemical research. Currently serving as distinguished professor at Marwari University and a scientific advisor to the Office of CGP PDTM, Government of India, Dr. Desai bridges the gap between complex pharmaceutical sciences and national patent policy. Recognized by Stanford University among the top 2% scientists globally, his legacy includes mentoring over 50 PhD students and spearheading infrastructure development through the DST-FIST program. We have with us with our very own Professor Dr. N.C. Desai, sir. Welcome, sir, on the stage. Please, Dr. Saul sir will present him with a floral bouquet as a token of our gratitude to join us on our maiden talk of Let's Talk IP and starting our very own technical session.
So very good afternoon to all of you. You can come now here. No?
Let me also welcome Mrs. Desai in our session. She has joined us and supported our initiative. We are very thankful to her as well, madam. Please, madam. Poonam madam is welcome.
This is actually the real talk started right now. It will not be for the moment, for the session, for this hour, for this day. As Professor Anand Pandit sir has mentioned, this is the talk which is inspired by legendary thought leader and a legendary philosopher, Swami Vivekananda. I think sir has a very beautifully connected his talk with this mission, like arise, awake, not stop till the goal completes. So let us take this spirit and whatever the IP talk we are going to start, it is the grand foundation of Professor Anand Pandit, and the talk has been delivered by Professor none other than his teacher, his mentor, Professor Viksit Bharat sir. It is another gathering on this auspicious day. Let us take the spirit of National Youth Day. The third process of legendary Guru, Vishwaguru, Swami Vivekananda, and let us take this spirit Anuvad, not until we are achieving the wonderful. With this word, I once again welcome and Professor Punat Pandit sir, and thanks to his very inspiring and insightful kind words. Just to begin this session, and also to welcome Professor N.C. Desai sir, who is a very legendary figure on the hardcore research development and patent this thing very giant. And we hope that this lecture will be the seed giving inspiration for all of us to carry this mission forward. Thanks.
So very good afternoon to all of you. And we are meeting after lunch, and therefore we are aware about that. But today is the most auspicious day, that is called a Youth Day. And I personally thank to Dr. Narottam Sahu and his team for inviting me in this beautiful campus. I've seen the campus and everything, and this is one of the beautiful campus of the state-funded university of our state, and I'm so much happy that we are in a beautiful campus. I also suggest you that after completion of your program, if possible, then go and see the visit of this campus. Now, coming to the title, let's talk IP. What is the meaning of that? After થોડુંક interaction જેવું રાખશું ભાઈ. Language is not a problem. You can ask me in Gujarati. I don't have any problem. કારણ કે બધા જતો ત્યાં ગુજરાતના છોકરાઓને લેંગ્વેજ નો મોટો પ્રોબ્લેમ હોય એટલે હું કહું કે તમે તમને ગુજરાતીમાં પૂછજો જ્યારે જે સ્લાઇડ ઉપર તમને ન આવડે ન સમજાય ત્યારે તમે પૂછજો કે સાહેબ ભાઈ મને વાંધો નથી હું જ્યારે એપ્લિકેશન નો ક્લાસ લે તો એ રીતે ભણાવતો હોઉં છું એટલે તમને જ્યાં તકલીફ પડે જ્યાં એવું લાગે કે મને આ સ્લાઇડમાં સમજાવવાનું નથી ત્યાં મને ઊભા થઈને પૂછવાનું ગુજરાતીમાં પૂછો તોય ચાલશે હિન્દીમાં પૂછો તોય ચાલશે અને અંગ્રેજીમાં પૂછો તો પણ ચાલશે I don't have any problem. Now let us come to the what is it because beautiful title is given. Why this title is given? You tell me. What's the reason? What do you understand regarding this title? Let's IP talk. What is the meaning of that? Because Narottam Sahu is a very he is the person who has changed the landscape of science and technology of our state. Because I have seen the position of GUJCOST in 1998 when the Viksit Bharat was heading the GUJCOST, and now GUJCOST is considered one of the most important agency for the science and technology in our country. Now let's see, you tell me, because when since morning you are listening the talk and everything. So what is the meaning of that? Why he has selected this topic? Let's IP talk. Let's talk IP. What is the meaning of that? This is very interesting now. Because we are talking about the Viksit Bharat. What is the meaning of Viksit Bharat? Because everywhere now you can go. Whenever you go, you listen to Viksit Bharat and all that. What's the reason? Why the Prime Minister has given this slogan? What is the reason? Because in 2047 we are completing 100 years of the independence. And 100 years of independence is one of the finest journey of any nation. And that's the reason that what we are putting here is the Viksit Bharat. And now why he has given this topic. Let's talk IP. Now, see, Narottam Sahu is very much interested that the intellectual property right and its management that should be integral part of your life, and that's the reason that he has given this particular thing. Let's talk IP. That means what we are talking in a common when we talk with the friends, when we are sitting in front of friends, when we are attending the classroom, when we are in the laboratory. At that time, we should have it's a routine process. It's a routine process unless and until it is not converted to mass movement. Now, the Narottam Sahu is interested to convert it into mass movement, and that's the reason that he has given this talk. I think, am I right or wrong? This is according to my perception. I may be wrong, but I may be right. મારા વિચાર પ્રમાણે મેં તમારી સમક્ષ વ્યક્ત કર્યા કે ભાઈ આનું કારણ એ છે આ શું કામ ને એને આખો તમે જુઓ કે ત્રણ શબ્દ છે ત્રણ શબ્દની અંદર he is interested to convert into a mass movement unless and until when he came to my university on 27th of April and we had a roundtable conference at that time. He said that now IP should be discussed on the dining table. If you remember that what you heard, you used this word, So that's the reason that now I feel that now he is really interested to convert into a top of a dining table, and this is how the word and this is how the topic is selected. I think probably this is clear in your mind. કારણ કે જ્યાં સુધી title subject આ તમને સમજાશે નહીં ત્યાં સુધી તમે વાત કરીશ ને એનો કોઈ meaning જ નથી. There is no meaning at all. If I talk anything about the IP and unless and until you do not know the fundamentals of IP, see, I am trying to change your mindset. I'm not an expert. I'm an expert of organic chemistry. I'm an expert of chemistry, but I'm not an expert of IP. But in 1997, I started this particular program through TIPEC. That was the 17th, workshop which I have organized in my university. And at that time, it was very difficult even to get the participants. And TIFAC was the total agency of, DSP, Government of India, and we got 65,000 rupees for organizing the workshop. And since then, I am connected with this particular topic. But now, this topic is converted into a mass movement. Now, the next step, next generation, now you are the stakeholder, because I am 69 years old, but you are in the round about 20 to 25 years, or maybe a couple of participants are in the 30 or 40 or 50. But what I personally feel that now it is the next generation business. It is the next generation business. Now coming to the first slide. અરે ચાલુ ની અંદર ના કરી આ લેઝર ગન છે હવે આ લેઝર ગન છે ને એથી હું છે ને વાપરી કોઈનું મને ન ફાવે
इसमें किसके साथ
આ ધીસ ઇઝ લેઝર ગન ધીસ ઇઝ નોટ અ પેન ડ્રાઈવ
नहीं
મેં તો મારું આપી દીધું સાઈન ને પ્રેઝન્ટેશન પર ક્યારનું આપી દીધું છે ધીસ ઇઝ લેઝર ગન ઇટ ઇઝ વાઇફાઈ લેઝર ગન which is connected with pointer no એવું ભૂલ કરું યાર જાણી વગર મારી આબરૂ કાઢી લો આવી બધી ભૂલ કરતો જે આપણી ભૂલથી એવું બને કોઈ એ મારા હાથે કોઈ બનાય કાપી જાય મને પૂછી દે હવે મારી હારે જને કામ કર્યું કોઈ દી એવું ના બને યાર આટલા બધા પ્રેઝન્ટેશન આટલું બધું ભણાય
સ્ક્રીન બંધ
લેક્ચર લીધા રોજના
સ્ક્રીન બંધ
એક જ મિનિટ
स्क्रीन बंद हां सर एक मिनट सर
હા નો પ્રોબ્લેમ તમે જેમ કરો
બાકી સેન્સર છે બધું
સાહેબની એક્સપર્ટીઝ છે એક્સપર્ટ તૈયાર કરવા માટે અને એનું મતલબ હું મારી જાતને એક્સપર્ટ નથી કહેતો પણ મને સાહેબે આઈપી માટે તૈયાર કર્યો છે
My friend, I said that Rakesh Rawal is one of the best bioinformatics of our country, And fortunate enough that today he is also sitting in my, lecture, and one is Rajesh Bhosle. He has worked in the, he has done the postdoc at MIT University. Right now he is in, this, in Gadpal University. And when I was invited for the talk at Interesting University, and I have shown one experimentation of photosynthesis, then he said that, that was my first interaction. He said that I have seen this experiment in MIT. So how did you get it? I said that, I am in the industrial campus, so I thought that, there's the other way, everything is working. I think this was our first interaction, still I remember. So Rajesh Bhosle has done his, postdoc at MIT and Stanford, both universities. So he is also there, and Yatindra is that. He is also my student right now. He is a professor of nanotechnology in DTIT. But I think he is that.
show my screen in the way
So meanwhile, we have one question for you.
Yeah.
Actually, काफी बच्चों को भी एक question हुआ होगा that you are a scientific advisor for the CGPA office. So can you just elaborate and how is the interaction between a scientific advisor and what rounds and what advices are being given?
Actually, now Indian Patent Office is giving the advertisement at a couple of years after 5 or 10 years, and they have got the tight, these parameters are very tight, and they are inviting for the scientific advisor on several aspects like biotechnology, then chemistry, pharmacy, electronics engineering, and all. The reason is that because when there is a legal
विंडोज पे है तो ये प्रोजेक्ट का तो ये तो विंडोज पे
the court is also required the help of experts. And at that time, if the case is there, in case of IPR or any related IP tools, at that time, the High Court and Supreme Court will ask the help from the Indian. They said that you can send the name of the person who are expert in this field, and when they select it, then, this is one major, major task and major duties of the scientific advisor. Or whatever, sometimes they also ask, their people can also ask the opinion of the scientific advisor. So I am in chemistry and pharmacy both. So I
Sir,
think
if I
last
may
year,
add,
last year that was the advertisement was published and we are right, and the parameters were very tight. No? It's not like any company can become an advisor of control general of patent, copyright, trademark, etc. So this is how my name was. I think even the vice chancellor of MS University is also advisor of control general of patent. He is also he is in the field of chemistry. Where my work is in chemistry and this medicine. Pharma, they also on the page of my publications and all. No? ईमेल में लाओ ईमेल में नाखी दो तुमसे ओके ओके नो प्रॉब्लम अब वो पेन की फैशन चली गई है
અને સ્ટોપ કરો પેન ડ્રાઈવ છે બહુ બહુ
I'm sorry
ફીચર્સ વધારે
so this is how any other question if you want to ask if you want to ask any other question Gil if you want to ask any other question you can ask
આપણે કેવું છે સ્ટોપ કરો
Anybody has any question in the student section as well, you can ask.
આ છોડ દો ને આમાં બ્રાઉઝર બદલાઈ નાખો સમજ્યા માઇક્રોસોફ્ટમાં કરવું એચ બરાબર આ ખાલી છે પીપીટીમાં તો કોઈ સાઈડ નહીં આ ઉપર
no not last year
પણ
I think before 3 years no?
એનું
But actually they have added
ઓકે તમે પેલું કર્યું
the topic
હવે
is
આપણે શું કરવાનું ડ્યુઅલ ઈ કઈ કે વિન્ડોઝ 10
and then their government is interested to
વિન્ડોઝ 10 હાલતું કરો તો
women entrepreneurship.
સ્ક્રીન છે ને ડુપ્લિકેટ કરી નાખો ખાલી એટલે થઈ જાય
So it is continuously amended, no? But the major is startup and women entrepreneurship. And they also reduced the fee. Previously it was, I think, probably 40,000 rupees, but now if you want to file a patent and granting payment 8,700. So any company can this effort. This is how the major changes took place after the Unnat Pandit has taken as control of patent and trade control.
સહી જોવા
PDF માટે હું PDF એટલે વાપરું છું બદલાય નહીં કે એની અંદર
સાચી વાત છે.
બદલાઈ જાય છે Yeah, please. Please.
Yes, sir. Sir, તમે આ આપણી આઝાદી પેટન્ટ્સને એઝ અ રિસર્ચર તરીકે તમે જોયું એટલે એક્સપર્ટ તરીકે તો એવી કોઈ તમારો કેસ તમે યાદ આવી હોય કે જેમાં આપણે ઇન્ડિયન પેટન્ટ જે કોઈ ખબર ના હોય
મલ્ટીપલ
આપણે કોઈ પ્રોડક્ટ બનાવી દીધી હોય પછી એ કેસ ફાઇલ થાય
વિન્ડોઝ
consequences
વિન્ડોઝ
ની
પી
અંદર
હાલતું નથી
એ વસ્તુ સ્ટોપ કરવી પડે અથવા તો એને પેનલ્ટી આપવી પડે એવું કોઈ કેસ
જો આમાં પહેલી વસ્તુ એ છે કે પેટન્ટ ફાઇલ કરો ત્યારે તમે
એ મેડમ
prior
હવે
art search કરો.
સ્ક્રીન બ્લેન્ક હો ગઈ
અને prior art search કરીને ખ્યાલ આવી જાય. અને સત્તાવીસ ઉપર અગર stick થઈ જાય તો જ્યારે
હવે જો
patent
થર્ડ
office
પીસીમાંથી શેર કરી
thoroughly અને
ફાઇલ એમની મારા પીસીથી શેર કરી દઉં
દરેક વસ્તુ.
हाँ वहाँ से शेयर
पीसीથી
करो।
આરામથી શેર કરી દઈએ
हाँ,
નેક્સ્ટ
मैं
કરવાનું છે
बात नहीं
મારું પીસી બહાર નહીં તો next હા લેતો
પેલું
હા
લગાવી
લેતો
દઈએ.
હું તમને શેર કરું
અને
નથી રિસ્ટાર્ટ કરજે તો બરાબર
હવે એ
રિસ્ટાર્ટ
તો
કરીએ તો પાછું હતું એનું એક થાય
हाँ
ને
तो
ના
कोई
ના
बात
થઈ
नहीं,
જશે કમ્પ્લીટ થઈ
वो
જશે
तो कोई दिक्कत
ચલો
नहीं, कर दो।
આવ કરો આ
પછી
હા હવે રેડી
तो
આવી
आया तो ना
આ
तो
તો
गया।
હા રેડી રેડી બરોબર એક્સટર્નલ છે કે એક્સટર્નલ બરાબર પણ તમારું કામ અત્યારે ચાલશે અહીંયા એની સ્ક્રીન આવી જોઈએ સ્ક્રીન
वो
નથી
हम
એટલે
अंदर से कर दो।
ઓકે એક્સટર્નલ થઈ ગયું છે હા પછી સાહેબ ના પોઈન્ટર લગાવી દઉં પછી
It depends how smart you defend your case. Because there is a lot of
સાહેબ થી નેક્સ્ટ થવું જોઈએ બાકી આપણે
for
જોઈ
all the things. So all it depends.
અહીંયા
Case to
અહીંયા નહીં
case.
દેખાય તમારે
Then
પાછું આવવું હશે ને
in this pattern we find
હા ના છે ને
twice
આપણે
this opposition. And
આવવું
we
છે તો હા
by
દે
we
પાછળ
submit,
દેવું
we never get the money.
હા એ તો હું સમજી ગયો ત્યાંથી અહીંયા લેવાનું સમજી ગયો
90 days.
ડ્રેગન ડ્રોપ
So we are submit all of them waiting
हाँ
for
तो
the
कर दो वहाँ
certificate.
अंदर से हम उस गूगल मीट में join कर
Finally we got it.
अभी चालू करो।
I'm
ચાલુ જ
working
છે
on the
one આ તો છે જ ચાલુ
device
તમારા વધે કોઈ અહીંયા છે ને
automatic
સ્ક્રીન
field
બદલી
dispenser હોય છે.
વિન્ડોઝ
And in automatic field dispenser there are more than
હવે ચેક કરાવો
500 patents are yes.
હાઈડ કરી દો ને હા આ લઈ ગયો સાઈડ લીધે તો
બહુ easy there. Okay. Now I'm actually sorry that I have already given my this presentation, but somehow it was not materialized. Now let's come to the IP for Viksit Bharat. So I have already discussed this particular, the word, what is the meaning of Viksit Bharat. Now the innovation imperative. See, innovation is directly connected with the human mind, and whenever the human mind is involved, you will find that the new entity is generated. And when a new entity is generated, then the question is how to protect in the form of intellectual property. So this is how the title is, and totally I'm trying to change your mindset. And after my lecture, probably your thought process will be changed. My task is to change your thought process. And unless and until if you do not change your thought process, I think you are not working out of box. Out of 199%, they think in the box. Where if you start thinking out of box, then you will get something new. And this is how today I'll try to explain it. If you are interested to publish your paper in these two journals, this is published by Taylor and Francis, then you are most welcome. If you are interested to review the paper, then you are also most welcome. This is my email ID, and you can contact me on my email ID. This is first one. Now I already discussed the beautiful topic. Let's talk IP. And I already discussed that he is interested. Narottam Sahu is interested that this should be converted into a mass movement. This should be converted into a day-to-day life. It should be directly associated with the day-to-day life, and therefore, once it is inculcated in the form of day-to-day life, then you are always thinking out of box. Now this is today's today this is a youth day, and therefore we have selected this night. The Swami Vivekananda itself is he himself is a university. He himself is a ocean of religious, and whatever lecture which he has given, that is in the form of IP. Anywhere, any time or any moment, these lectures are converted into IP. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. This is the best sentence for IP, and this is why our control general Professor Pandit also mentioned. And this is the feeling expressed when the Vivekananda has taken the visit of the Somnath temple. Somnath temple is the faith of all Indians. Yesterday, Honorable Prime Minister also mentioned this particular thing. He said that this year I have started to take the visit from Somnath temple. In 2026, this is my first visit of Gujarat, and I have started from that. And then of course you can see that the Mukesh Ambani was there yesterday in the Vibrant Gujarat. And Mukesh Ambani has also started his, his speech with the, quotation of Somnath temple. And this is the thing, right? After visiting Somnath in 1980s, he later said that in 1987 at Chennai, the Chennai lecture, you read each and every word. When you think about IP, if you want to protect your invention, then the language is very, very important. Language will play a major role. And that's the reason that most mark how these temples near the makes of 100 acres and 100 regenerations continuously destroyed and continuously springing up out of the ruins and rejuvenations and strong as ever. So this is the entire center, entire this quotation clearly reveals that it is clearly demonstrated about the IP. Because during that time we were not aware about the IP, and that's the reason that we are not taken. But in the present context, this particular quotation is directly related with the IP, and he is the symbol. Is each and every each and every lecture is considered to be the best collection of philosophy as well as IP. Now, the Narottam Sahu has selected this particular topic for 2047, and therefore, I start with this, that the vision of IP-driven Viksit Bharat. What will be the vision? Everybody is telling. I said that Viksit Bharat. What is the meaning of Viksit Bharat? how you are taking Viksit Bharat, or how you are taking the, how you are taking the slogan of Viksit Bharat with you. And that's the reason that I have divided into two different parts. Then the quantitative goals and qualitative goals. Right? So quantitative 1 million patent application annually. 1 million. You know that in 2024, the Indian Patent Office has granted the 1 lakh patent. For the first time, that was granted by Indian Patent Office, that is 1 lakh, right? And then the top 10 in global innovation index. India should be included. 25% of global patent filing from India. Then 50% MSME participation in IP creations. And then patent examination time reduced to 6 months. So this is how, this is the quantitative goals. Now still we have got 21 years. Still we have got the 21 years. We are in the 2026 and for 2047 this is the qualitative goal. Now this is very important. So I have divided into two different categories, right? So one is world-class IP infrastructure. Then globally respect the IP judiciary. And then innovation culture in education. This is very important. Innovation culture in education. Now the new education policy is introduced, but still I am very doubtful that how it will be inculcate the innovation culture in education. And then strong IP commercialized ecosystem. In the morning, during the case of lecture, everybody is asking about the commercialization. So commercial is not that much easy. Dr. Bhosle was asking the questions, right? So commercial is that much not easy. Even the very eminent scientist, Rakesh Rawal, is also sitting with me in this particular August gathering. You can ask him that commercialization is not so easy. But what we are thinking, still you have got the 21 years. And 21 years is a very big gap. It's a very big, it's a huge time, and therefore see, it may be possible. I'm using this, but I'm not sure about that. It may be. And then the Viksit Bharat intellectual property must evolve from the legal safeguard. It should be evolved from legal safeguard into a strategic national asset powering the innovation, economic growth, and global leadership. So, the innovation is directly connected. Whenever there is innovation is directly connected with the economic growth and global leadership. So, unless and until we do not think in a different manner, do not think out of box, it is very difficult to take the leadership at a global. I think probably this is, clear in your mind. If this is not clear, then again I'll repeat it. I think probably this is clear in your mind. Shall I go for next slide? Now, this is the very interesting thing. Now, this is Swedish company, Volvo. This Volvo company has got this is the time to build up the culture of innovation. This Volvo company has built up the culture of innovation. So construction instruments, construction equipment. They are manufacturing construction equipment, and then they are focused. If you want to develop the innovation culture, innovation creativity is not like that. Just to open the street and it's just you stop this, just you play with the street and you will get the electricity. It's not like that. So they have given the 8-point program. This 8-point program is very, very important. Now everybody is studying about the Volvo model. So what does Volvo model indicate? So I have started with innovation, and then we'll go to the IP. Then we'll go to the different tools of IP. But at least because the title is that's the idea innovation intellectual property. And therefore, see, I thought that I'll start with innovation. That's the reason that later on I will discuss the different tools of IP. But let me discuss what is innovation and how the innovation is converted into IP. This is very important, right? So innovation culture. So if you are in any institute or academic institute or even research and development or any industry, then these points are very important. And this is the Volvo company. Volvo company is construction equipment they are manufacturing, and this is the best idea of that shaping idea. How the IP is built up. This is very important, and on the basis of this pictorial representation, this is a graphics. I normally use the graphic in my in my presentation, so that immediately I can communicate my own ideas. Right? This is not my own ideas, but I have taken from Volvo's this innovation model. Then then future scenario of goal. The next is clear innovation process. So now, from innovation culture to innovation process, it's very long journey, and then you can find that, and then user oriented, then clear ownership, then committed management, then good physical virtual working environment. This is very important, and this university practically have seen. Practically, Rakesh sir, practically have seen this particular culture in this university. I and my wife is also there. She is also from chemistry, and we have seen that culture in this university. And then finally, time for the idea. So this is how this is the entire cycle, the entire life cycle, and this entire life cycle is very important for innovation culture. I think this is very important, and if you have any problem, then please do tell me. Otherwise, let's go for the next slide. Now, innovation management. So we have seen the innovation culture, then innovation culture, and then management. How to manage the innovation? This is very important. Unless and until if you are not able to focus on that, it's very difficult. Now you can find an idea. So here human mind came in picture. Even if you are working in AI tools, so many things, everything, but nobody can compute the human mind. Because whatever things we are putting, that will be converted into a reality. So idea, then idea management, then development of projects, then the protection and exploration, market introduction, and innovation research. So these are the verticals of innovation management for Viksit Bharat. This is the verticals, and all these verticals, and then finally you can see that innovation results, assessment and improvement. This is called a feedback system, which is not available in our country. Because in our country, always people are crazy about the success story, but people are not crazy about the failure story. Out of 100 startups, only one startup is survived. 99 startups are aborted. So nobody is dealing with the people are talking about trigger bamboo. Trigger bamboo was very popular in the case of Corona. But people are not talking about some other person, those were failure in the IT related things, right? So performance assessment of the innovation management systems. What is the performance? That's indicators, methods for monitoring and criteria for evaluating the organization should be established. So this should be established. Improvement the innovative management systems. So this is our idea to innovation management process to be adopted. So this is the very important different verticals to convert into a reality. So in the first one, what we said that this is the innovation management, right? So what we said that these are the these are the 9 criteria, right? And the 9 criteria are converted into a revenue generation. Then these 2 slides are very important with the help of innovation process. Now, because we are with a let's talk IP. And that's the reason that I have taken a very simple example. I have taken a very simple example, build innovation for easy livelihood. Because innovation must be directed with the livelihood. Exactly, I remember that in 1982, when the television came in the market. At that time, it was a black and white television, and television was a luxury for very few people in the city and very few rich people. But nowadays, television has gone, and with television, the television is already replaced by mobile phone. So you can see that this is the livelihood. So all these are the very simple innovations, and then simple innovations are the same to believe the IP by design and respected. So this is the simple thoughts. Simple thoughts are converted into a design process, design patent, or say design IP. Then another thing is patent and all. So the outcome of the previous slides are, you will find that here all this is a very tough, and then you can find that there are different type of assembly, or you can see that this is simple thing I have taken up, right? And this is a sanitizer. How? Because sanitizer is very popular in Corona. So this is how you can see that with the help of innovations, even if they generate directly connected with the livelihood of the society. I think this is clear in your mind, or still if you have any problems. Now for Viksit Bharat, these are the varieties of pillars, right? You will find that knowledge, creativity, research, knowledge data. Yesterday, the Anil Ambani has discussed in detail regarding the data generation, AI-based data generation, world class and indigenous platform at Jamnagar. So you can find a knowledge, creativity, technology adopter, then a global technology, innovator, IP ecosystem, strategic assets, innovation driven. All these are very important verticals for the development or for catching the goal of Viksit Bharat. Maybe a couple of goals we cannot, like this is sustainable development goals. So WIPO has declared the 17 SDG goal, but out of it only 3 or 4 goals we have to achieve. We achieved till that. Now, we already discussed about the innovation, and now how to protect innovation into a in the form of IP tools. So if you want to understand that, you should try to understand two words. સામાન્ય રીતે હું જ્યારે જોઉં ત્યારે પેટન્ટની વાત જ ચાલુ કરી દે એટલે લગભગ કોઈને સમજાય નહીં. So if you want to understand the topic of creativity, innovation and IP, then you should know what is the difference between tangible and intangible property. What is the difference between the tangible and intangible property? Unless and until if these particular points are not clear in your mind, you never understand what is IP. Now you tell me, what is the meaning of tangible property? What is the difference between tangible and intangible property? આ બધી વસ્તુ એમએસસી માં છોકરાઓને ભણાવતો. અમે 2007 ની અંદર આ બધી એમએસસી ના છોકરાઓને સિલેબસમાં દાખલ કર્યો. You tell me, what is the tangible and intangible property? So, the intellectual property on my right, what I have written is intangible property. And this is tangible property. Now, question is how you have related the tangible and intangible property. Because when we talk about intellectuals and property, because I have not seen the intellectual property, but I have seen the property, the mobile phone, car, the jewelry, etc., etc. So the difference between the tangible and intangible property is intangible property is not visualized. And when we talk about IP, then this is patent, trademark, copyright, and all they are the tools of intangible property. Now, in 2001, exactly on 26th of January, there was a massive earthquake in Gujarat, and all this tangible property they have lost. Tangible property is already lost. During the case of tsunami, you can see that the tangible properties are lost, but in the tsunami and earthquake, intangible property is not lost. This is somewhat very interesting. મેં એ પણ જોયું છે કે 3 દિવસે કરોડોપતિ માણસો પણ લાઈનની અંદર ઊભા રહી ગયા હતા, કારણ કે કચ્છની અંદર બધું ખાસ થઈ ગયું અને 2 દિવસ સુધી 1 દિવસ સુધી શરમ થાય તો પેટ તો કોઈનું હકું થતું નથી. સાહેબ 3 દિવસે સાહેબ કરોડપતિ માણસો લાઈનમાં જમવાના માટે ઊભા હતા. કરોડપતિ માણસો કે જે લોકો પોતે ડોનેશન આપતા હતા એવા લોકો ત્યાં ઊભા હતા. But if you have an intangible property, set of intangible property, you have 10 patents, 10 copyrights in your pocket, then I will explain how to convert into a this tangible property. This is very important, and this is the important slide of my talk. Now you go to the bank. Suppose if you want to purchase a land, and if you want to purchase a flat, and if you go to the bank, if you ask that I want to take the loan of 50 lakhs rupees, and I want 10 patents, trademarks in my pocket, can you give me? So what will be the reply of bank manager? What will be the reply? So reply is, he said that I can't give. But instead of that, you said that I have got the this jewelry, I have got the land, I have got so many things. Then manager will say that it's my pleasure to welcome you, right? Okay, but suppose you have a patent, and if you commercialize the patent, if you tech transfer, if you make the tech transfer, if you earn the money, and if you again purchase the tangible property, then intangible property is converted to tangible. So this is how this intangible we are talking about. We will talk for next 15-20 minutes for intangible property, right? This is clear in your mind. What is the meaning of tangible and intangible property? Now we will talk about the intangible. This intangible property is very important, and people are not, serious about the intangible property. And in the morning, some of the university or name of some of the university was mentioned. But this is not the way to convert, because unless because 90% patents are dormant. 90% patents are dormant, and unless and until it is not converted into a commercialization, it's of no use. And that's the reason that we will have a focus on patent, trademark, copyright, etc. I think this is completely clear in your mind, right? Now this is also the type asset, and this is the intangible property. I will give the example because I already explained, so I will solve this slide. Now this is a very interesting story, and I'll try to explain you that suppose without permission, if you use any intangible property, then it will be shown in the code. આ બધા તમે જોયો છે મહાભારત નાની પરથી તમને ખબર પડી જાય બરાબર. What is the message for the patent? What is the message to cloud the intellectual property? The infringement of intellectual property is the first case of infringement. કોઈને ખબર છે કે આ શેની વાર્તા છે મને ખબર છે એકલવ્ય બરાબર. તો એકલવ્ય દ્રોણને પૂછ્યા વગર ચાલુ કરી દીધું હતું. So then what happened? Drone has taken his thumb. And this is the first case of patent infringement. This is the first case of patent infringement. And this is how, if I am interested to explain my thoughts, મારી દુકાન ચલાવવી હોય તો મારે એવી રીતે તમને સમજાવવું પડે. હવે તમને બધો ખ્યાલ આવી ગયો કે કોઈની પણ પેટન્ટ, કોઈના કોપીરાઇટ, કારણ કે અત્યારે ગમે ત્યાં ગમે જાય ચિત્રના પ્રદર્શન તરત જ ફોટા લઈ લે છે. So all the paintings are converted into a copyright. So without copyright, you don't make the exhibitions, right? And that's the reason that this is the first. હવે તમને ખ્યાલ આવી ગયો કે કોઈની પણ પરમિશન વગર આ બધી આપણે પ્રોપર્ટી વાપરી લઈએ તો એના શું પ્રોબ્લેમ થાય. સવારે કોઈકને પૂછતું તો એને કે હમણાં કંઈક પૂછતું જ આની ઉપર તમને ખ્યાલ આવે. So when you read it, આપણે આ બધા નાનપણમાં ભણ્યા હશે પણ આપણે આવી રીતે નથી ભણ્યા. My intention is different. I think this is completely clear in your mind regarding the patent infringement. Do you have any idea about that? Or I think this is the simplest example of patent infringement. This is the first, when I was talking with Bharat Sahu, he said that this is the time where the first patent was granted. These are historical photographs of intellectual property. The historical photographs, and this is a very old concept, right? And then what is IP? IPR. So quickly I will explain in a very simple manner. I have written so many things on the slide, but I don't care for slides. Right? Now, what is intellectuals and property? So the property which is generated by human brain, practically the property which is generated by human brain is considered as the intellectual property. And when the state will give the rights, then here the R is prefix. Sorry, R is suffix. And this is how practically you can explain the IP. And this is understanding the concept of IP evolutions. So if you want to understand the concept of IP, then we have 7 verticals. These verticals we are going to discuss one by one, right? I think this is completely clear in your mind. Okay. Now all these are the verticals. These are the verticals, or popularly now it is known as tool. Previously we have not used the name of tools. As you know that when the technology is involved in the human life, when the new words are involved. What is the, you tell me, what is the mathematical form of Google? Do you have any idea what is the mathematical form of Google? Practically 10 to the power 100. Google is a powerful search engine. You can put anything and you will get it anything. So then this word is directly associated. So this is IP tools. IP tools, and these tools are very important for us. And one more thing is, we have never used carbon footprint. Prior to that, we have not used the roaming word. All these words are directly connected to technology. Similarly, the tool word I have used it. So this is about the copyright, modern right, trademark, patent, geographical indications, then registered industrial design and trademark secret. So these 7 tools are directly connected with the IP. If you want to understand one by one, we'll discuss this. I think this is clear in your mind. There are 7 tools for the IP vertical. This is clear. Simply, I am trying to introduce the subject because this is a very complicated subject. This is a very difficult subject. It's not so easy that any topic any can understand within 1 hour. It's not possible to understand within 1 hour. Now, this is upshot of intellectual property. This is the entire, it's like the horoscope of my lecture. This is the horoscope of my lecture. This slide will give the clear-cut landscape of IP, right? And today's lecture, and today's also, let's talk IP. Now, this is the human mind. On my left, you can find it, there is a human mind. And now, human mind is very continuous, you are thinking. તમે કોઈ નો વિચારો કે 10 મિનિટ તમે આમ એક ભાયરા બેસીને ત્યાં મનમાં કોઈ જાતનો વિચાર લેવો આપણું મન એટલું બધું ઉંદરડા જેવું છે બટ હાલે. So our mind is very it's very difficult. So I have written here the human mind, right? Now human mind is this is intangible industrial property, copyright related rights that generate. Then few generation property and the hybrid emerging IP. This hybrid word is also very important. Previously we never heard I think probably from chemistry, those are coming from chemistry, they know the hybrid word, but now hybrid conference and hybrid mode, etc., etc. So now this patent, this the industrial property directly related with patent, trademark, industrial design, then trade secret, geographical indications, copyright. This is very interesting. Copyright is the whole cinema industry. They are now fully they are flooded with the problems of copyright. Literacy work, artistic work, musical work, dramatic work, cinematography, and sound recording. You remember that Gavaskar and Amitabh Bachchan has taken the order from the court that nobody can use my word. Nobody can use my voice, and this comes under this sound recording, right? And then this is the traditional knowledge, genetic resources. Gene was talking about the traditional knowledge, and then this is genetic resources, database right, domain names. Then of course AI generated work. Now this is the most complicated. This is the most complicated topic. The America was the first. Donald Trump has signed, laws for the AI generated work. Now, those are writing a recent paper. When the manuscript are submitted to my journal, immediately when I go to the abstract, and if the author has used AI generated tools, then immediately I can get the idea. 2-3 words I can find out. 2-3 non. Rakesh Bhai ને બેટા જે કે મારે ફોટો બનાવવું એવું લાગે છે કે he is a very big scientist. પણ પૂછી લો આપણે એક કે બે કદાચ એની માં રિવ્યુ થવા આવતા પેપરો હોય so then within 1 or 2 either introduction or maybe abstract you can identify, right? So this is the biggest problem. Then biotechnology IP. Biotechnology IP is also gene patents and then synthetic biology, right? Rakesh Bhai can speak more about this, but just I have taken because this I personally feel that I should also cover these things. And then business methods. Then data related rights and digital assets. So this hybrid emerging IP is the biggest problem in the entire world. We are always listening so many things regarding this. This is what we are listening. This is called hybrid or emerging. Ama koi doubts hoy to mujhko. If you have any doubts, please tell me, right? Now, this is the most popular innovations. This is the most popular innovations of 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st century. Now, what is patent? Right? So, patent, by the definition, patent is exclusive right generated by the nation for the invention that is new, involves an inventive steps, and capable of industrial applications. That's all I will put to the patent one and all. But this is this is the crux of the patent. Because and when the Indian government sanctions the patent, it will take 20 years. It will give the rights for 20 years. Am I right or wrong? Okay, fine. Now let's go next. Now this is the first patent was granted, and this is why I have taken this historical picture I have taken here, and this is in 1459, and that was the England has granted, and during that time the seal was used. Then this is the first patent granted by the Indian government. At that time, British India was there. That was in 1856, and this Britisher got the first patent. Because I have brought it during that time, manually it was written. You can see that. During that time, it was very difficult. Right now, we have computerized tools and everything. But this is what he has written. Everything he has written. And this is the drawing which he has done. Now we have a computerized drawing and everything. So you can see that now you are enjoying a lot of luxury. Now then, what is copyright? The second tool is copyright. Copyright is very, very important in all the cinematography and all nowadays architects, painters, they are finding lot of problems because immediately you can click the photograph and take the copy and all. Now it is a legal concept which state the sword, writing, images, music belongs to people who create them and create them is the intellectual property of the owner. Other people cannot create the money for out of that. So this is about the copyright. All this is a the different points which are covered under the copyright. Then again, this is copyright and literary work, musical, dramatic work, pictorial, graphic work, motion pictures and other audio-visual material, sound recording and architectural work. This is the copyright work for the pictorial representation. In the pictorial representation I have mentioned so that immediately you can get the idea. But I explain in a very simple manner. Now let's go to geographical indication. Geographical indication is also very, very important. And geographical indication is the license of geographical indication is not given to an individual. It is given to a particular class of the society. And Geographical Indicator Good Registration Protection Act 1998. And then by the specific law, the government governing geographical indication of goods in the country which are adequately protected in the interest of the produce such as the goods. Like Patanna Patola or Rasgulla, Calcutta. You can find lot of people, lot of things I can quote it. Now this is the example of Banarasi Sari. All this is the examples of geographical indicator. Then this is the very interesting thing that this is Makarana marble. Now Makarana marble is also in the form of geographical indications. You will find that a lot of things are there, Bengali Patkarya, or this is the Magai Pan, which we are taking after the lunch, after the dinner or lunch. Devanagari, this is the mangoes and all, no? So this is the Shimla lychee of Bihar. So this is the protected by IP and trademark. So trademark is also very, very important, and trademark indicates the the particular things that the trademark is a unique symbol. It's a symbol. Works and used to represent the business or its products. Once the registered, let's say symbol or series of word cannot use by any other organization forever, as long as it remains and used proper paperwork and fees are paid. So this is the list of the this is a list of the this is a list of trademarks. Dil Mange More karke Doli. This is Walmart and all. This is very popular. You can find Oral B, etc. etc. Here the Dell computer is also there. FedEx is also there. Then the legal systems, Patent Act, Trademark Act, Copyright Act, Design and Geographical Indications Act. Now, practically, how much IP is generated when any international event is happened. This is how much this intellectual property during the World Cup, the FIFA. You will find that this inventions, design, and creative work, and brands, plant varieties, and etc. So all this much intellectual property is generated during the World FIFA. Now, this is very interesting. You have heard the name of Tesla, right? And when Tesla came in the market, you will find that a large number of IP was generated in one car only. It's a great example. This is a very good example through which you can get the idea. You will find that your patents, trademark, copyright, trade secret, and design secret. So how many are there? You can say 5 IP. They are covered. The IP tools are covered, right? So you will find that design right, copyright, and again patents and trademark. So any new entity came in the market. At that time, a lot of IP is directly associated, and a lot of IP is generated and harnessing of lot of ideas, then and then you can come the devices in the market. Then this is the Nike shoes, which I am also using. You will find that here the patents, trademark, copyright, then design right, and then trade secret. So all this is under the this one, no, patent, the Nike shoes, and then this is the latest iPro. So latest iPro, you will find that this is the trademark, copyright, patent, design right, and then trade secret. You will find that this much IP is harnessing with iPro, that is the I-70. And then our group is also working. Till then I produce at least 50 PhD students, and the molecular diversity is 5,800. This molecule we have synthesized, and then this is these three patents which we have taken from 126. And right now is controlled general patent, and fourth when we applied at that USCGP. And the fourth patent was invented with his own signature, right? So this is how it's a small journey. The cumulative impact value is 345. Then citation is 5,027. H index is 39. I index is 129. And published 180 research paper. So now the faculty members are known with the IT portfolio. Now whenever you go for interview for this associate professor or professor, at that time the IT portfolio is very important. So the person who is conducting interview says, what is your IT portfolio? And we should try to strengthen the IT portfolio. When I entered in the 1983, at that time there was nothing like IP and everything. When I finished my career, at that time I was generated, I developed, I created this much IP portfolio. So with a totally scratch, I reached to this particular stage, and then this is the historical picture. Then the Dr. Narottam Sahu was also present in this function. The viva of 50 students was organized at that time. It was a very grand function, and I was fortunate enough that Dr. Narottam Sahu has also attended, and he has attended viva and also roundtable conference. This is my granddaughter, and this is my wife, this is my sister-in-law, this is my daughter. And all this, and Professor Unnat Pandit is also here, this is Professor Namik Shah, and all, they are sitting here. That was a wonderful program. And, I have tried to, and then again, the last slide is very important. Today's lecture I have prepared with the help of these two, my students, Dr. Viksit Bharat. He is my 6th PhD student. Professor Unnat Pandit is my 5th PhD student. And first 4 slides was donated by Professor Unnat Pandit, and he has given all the inputs, and on the basis of his inputs, I have discussed first 4 slides, and this Viksit Bharat has prepared entire thing, and I am very much thankful to my 2 PhD students, Professor Unnat Pandit and Dr. Viksit Bharat. I don't know how far I have described to you, but if you have any questions, please ask me without any hesitation, because I am not an expert. But I have shared my experience of 30, probably in IT, I think 29 years. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please ask me. So probably the slides and everything was simple, and I am always I always explain with the help of graphics. And now we are living in the era of plagiarism, because when you write a research paper, the first question is plagiarism, how to encounter. And therefore, I try to communicate my message through graphics only. And this is best practice. And when you write a research paper, now the value of the graphic aspect is very, very high. And that's the reason we try to use how to prepare. Even when you give the presentation, please you don't use too much text and everything. Please add the graphics, and with the help of graphics, you try to communicate your message. Thank you very much.
We are now open for question and answer sessions. So participants are requested to keep the questions brief and relevant. So if you have any questions, kindly raise your hands. As Sir said, language is not an issue, so kindly proceed with that. I think
think we had a raised hand. Yeah.
આપણે આઈપી પેટન્ટ લઈ લીધું પેટન્ટ લીધા પછી એના ચેન્જીસ કરવા હોય એક વાર મશીન બની ગઈ પછી આપણે કોઈ ચેન્જીસ કરવા હોય તો એના આપણને રાઈટ્સ મળે કે ના મળે એ ડિરેક્શનમાં બીજા કોઈ મેન્યુ લઈ લીધી
જો હમણાં મારી બાજુમાં ઇન્ડિયન પેટન્ટ ઓફિસમાં જ બેઠા હતા એને પૂછ્યું બરાબર once the patent is granted then you have to again smartly apply for new inventions then it is possible. એટલે નવું ઇન્વેન્ટ તમારે તમે સમજો કે તમે જુઓ કે આ ટેસ્લાની બધા જે આટલી લીધી એનો અર્થ હોય એક જ પેટન્ટ લીધી they have taken number of n number of patents but smartly they are blocking the different avenues. You know it very well. You should know how to block it, the new avenue, block for the new companies and you know, open the new avenue.
हेलो थोड़ी बात आओ जाए
Sir, one question.
વાંધો
IP rights and in a fair use. એ વચ્ચે જ્યારે crash થાય for example
madam,
inspiration
4:30 વાગે.
ત્યારે IP rights માં મને શું
It's a fair use એટલે એમાં એવું છે તમને કહું કે all it depends કે તમે કયા પ્રકારના IP rights લીધા છે. પહેલી વસ્તુ છે કે this should be completely clear in your mind. કે IP rights લીધા છે બરાબર છે. Beyond
अच्छा,
IP
15 मिनट
rights
में
જો
ये
તમે
इसको restart करना
then it is not a fair use because it is a tool of practice. કારણ કે
जी के मन की बात ने तो मानो उन्हें मनचाही कोई जाने वाला ले जाने वाला नहीं है तो कल इकट्ठा फिर 2 दिन का भिजवा देंगे फिर 2 दिन का क्योंकि इतने तो 5 कम काफी है। हाँ कल भिजवा देंगे सर दोनों भी सैकेट नहीं देंगे आज और कल का
कवरिंग बना डाले हैं।
कवरिंग नहीं बनाई हूँ लेकिन कल भिजवा देंगे घर में इकट्ठा दोनों दिन के इकट्ठा जैसे कल भेजे थे वैसे
इसको ना कवरिंग बना के रख लीजिए अलग से और
दोनों दिन के एक साथ कर देंगे
कल 4 ही बजे जाएगा। नहीं तो एक जने सर है यहाँ जाते जाते आज वाला कल सवेरे ले जाए जाते जाते
kind of publications were there in the public domain, etc. So this is a research paper, and then startup.
And the technology transfer.
Tech transfer is a totally different thing, right? So first thing is the patent should be granted, or maybe patent should be filed, and then there should be industrial applicability, commercialization should be taken place, and once the commercial has taken place, then tech transfer. So tech transfer has got also couple of points that permanently you want to sell your patent, or maybe license wise if you want to sell it, and all these things are very important.
We have a question for, I think, Aman sir will be more relevant to answer. What if the file is issued and the revisions are to be made in future in a patent application? And if so, at the time of revision, is there a threat to the idea? Or can it be manipulated and can it be patented under any other person's name? Are there any actions against it? I think this is in relevance to filing, sir.
Already because
So this is what we discussed previously as well about provisional specification. So there is a provision that you can file a provisional specification, and then you can work on the idea. If the idea is not complete yet, so for after filing of the provisional specification, you get 12 months to work on the idea, and then you can go ahead filing the complete specification. And coming on to the second half of the question, that manipulation is permissible, but there's an extent to it. You cannot change the entire field of the invention. So the central idea should remain the same, but the intricate technical aspects of the invention can be changed.
So I think they were asking more about if they can add or remove the name from the inventor or applicant's list. I don't think that is a
amendment form is there. You can apply to the amendment form.
we have.
I think our IT officers are here. You can also.
IT officers can ask any questions if they are. I think Avinash sir already did ask. We have some other IT officers in our team as well. Do you have any questions from the audience present here?
What GUJCOST is supporting for filing the IP? Is there any like funding support or
Okay.
discussion for South?
Madam answered this question very well.
Okay, actually, GUJCOST is, like in the other institutes like GTU and the SIP grant, they are providing you a fund for IP filing. Correct? GUJCOST is not providing that kind of funding, but GUJCOST is providing facilitation. Facilitation is in the sense that complete filing, the documentation work will help you with that. Will be doing it on your behalf, and as part of the financial assistance for the filing will include only the filing fees. Correct? And that too, it will depend whether you are coming up to us with as an individual researcher or a student, a scholar, or you are coming through a IP cell. Right? So for all these different categories, our criteria are a bit different. There is plus something plus minus is there, not more about it. But yes, the facilitation as such we are providing completely irrespective of whoever the researcher is or the innovator is.
Okay, it means you are covering the.
Yeah, the agent, you don't have to pay any kind of agent fees. Our IT team is having patent agents. I myself is a patent agent. We have Mohit as a patent agent, as a trademark agent. And then we have other IPR experts, the technical experts we are having, correct? So we'll be helping you with the filing procedure. Okay.
Thank you.
If a GUJCOST is providing a fund, then IP rights will be with the GUJCOST or with the IP right?
Yes, that depends on what kind of memorandum you have signed while taking the fund. Okay, what kind of policy was there, the funding policy, whatever it was, उसके अंदर क्या IP के बारे में क्या लिखा हुआ है, depending on that policy, the rights would be there. And yes, the national IPR policy जो है हमारा, as part of that policy, whatever funding agency is there, it has a right to be an applicant. Correct? But yes, that does not say that you cannot be an applicant or the inventors cannot be an applicant. That will depend on the MOU which is being signed during the time of funding, and that would be strictly to that MOU. And every time, it keeps on changing. Even with the universities, even they have their own guidelines, IPR policies. So that will depend on that particular IPR policy, whatever you are signing.
It's not a case to case basis.
It is case to case basis.
My question is for the Oman sir. जो manipulation की बात की थी अभी जो question चला था वो I was talking about the manipulation in terms of while applying for provisional patent there is a time slot for 12 months. While providing the first filing, I certainly gave an idea of what I am developing or what I am researching about. And वो 12 महीने में if that idea gets laid down in the public or at that time I am applying for another jobs and another companies where they can like I have an opportunity working with someone else and trying to complete that research with them. At that time, if that ideas get transferred to someone else, and before I does the file complete and someone else completes it and submits it. So in that case, do I have the chance to actually make till the 12 months and there is a possibility?
That is the very core of the idea behind the provisional specification aspect. Once you have filed the provision specification stating the basic idea you are working on, you have already got the priority date on that very day. So no one else can infringe upon your idea or can copy your idea and will be done because your priority date will be prior to anyone who is trying to copy your idea. So once that idea is received by the patent office, we will go for a prior art search. The moment we go for a prior art search, your idea will come up in front of us. And we can say that this idea has already been filed here as a provisional specification and that tenure is not yet complete. So you will be given entire 12 months tenure to complete your idea and with whatever manipulation or modification you want to have, But with respect to the details of the applicant and inventorship, you have to submit the proof of right again and genuinely explain the reason why that change is being made. So that's upon the controller to then accept the change or not.
Yes. So date of filing the patent is very important. In your case, suppose you file the patent, the date of filing a patent is very important. Which he told that I put it in a different date of filing, right? And second thing, while doing any experimentation, you should have a clear-cut record book. From day one, you maintain the record book. So that if there is any legal question or legal problem arises, your record book will be considered as final. And put your signature every day, then even whatever the chemicals you use it, you list it properly, and then you take the signature of your supervisor or PhD guide, etc. There should be a clear-cut, maintaining of record. Whenever there is a dispute, then the record book will also consider as proof. Is what I think.
Another question about there is this patent and copyright, two different things. I belong from the field of architecture. So maybe copyright, as the sir's presentation was shown, the copyright is something that I must apply for. But copyright is for whole design. And I have, in my innovation, if I have designed a single element, like in product, a single wall or something, and that wall that can be applied in terms of industrial design part, and that part actually has it can be repeated over different ways.
I have given the example of Tesla, no?
Yeah.
Have you seen my example of Tesla? How many IPs are generated? How many? There are 5 IPs. Right? So this is directly applicable to you. In your case, you want 3 IPs generated. Accordingly, you have to.
And then a copyright also.
Accordingly, what I say. Accordingly, what I use.
Yeah.
So Tesla is never asked that, but they were least of this IP goals, right? 5 उसमें था, 5 से तमाम पे जे आवश्यक
बधाई अलग-अलग फाइल
Digital innovation can have multiple IPs. Yes. Is what is trying to do. Yeah.
Thank you.
सर जैसे कि आजकल है ना कंपनीज अपनी पूरी सीरीज लॉन्च करती है, शूज की हो गई या मोबाइल की हो गई, जो भी जैसे सैमसंग है तो पूरी एस सीरीज लॉन्च करती है, तो उसमें हर एक प्रोडक्ट का अलग-अलग पेटेंट फाइल होता है या फिर एक ही सीरीज का पूरा पेटेंट फाइल होता है?
You see, you can see that I have already given iPro 17, no? iPro 17, I have taken the example of iPro 17, right?
But the design was different.
I am coming in that. However, to iPro sold models with. Suppose in iPro 17 design is changed, so they have taken the IP protection of design. I think I have mentioned that five IP were protected, right? So in each and every model, if the IP is changing, if the design is changing, trade secret is changing, then you have to go for different protection, right? Smartly you have to do it. No? Some of the multinational companies are doing this only, no? X and all these companies are doing that. They are blocking the IP so that others cannot go for these derivatives. This is how this business is going on.
Moment to dekhe khatam kar. So we have one more question. How to connect AI with normal study about drug formulation and structure?
See, AI now is fashion, no? Each and every participant and each and every person, they are connected anything with the AI, no? So AI drug delivery system is directly connected human body, and how human body can directly connect with AI, no? That's the reason that this question is not valid as per my understanding, no?
We have a question. When some students are affiliated with an institute university who files the patent for the students, question is who actually gets the ownership of the patent?
Very good question, right? So right now we are living in the era of intellectual property, and each and every institute, each and every university, each and every college should have their IP policy. And according to the IP policy, it should be shared. If the commercialization is done, then the royalty will be shared. Like in our university, we had the 30%. If we use the infrastructure, then 70-30 ratio, right? 30% will go to the PI and 70% will go to the university. Out of which 20% will be held by the department and 50% will be university. And out of 30, again, there is a share between the principal investigator, students, etc., etc. So there should be, the laid down rules will be there. And according to you, because you are not, you are in the colleges, therefore your college is providing or university is providing infrastructure and all the things. Funds are coming to the university. Suppose GUJCOST is dealing, GUJCOST cannot give me. GUJCOST gives the fund to my registrar, and registrar will be routed through, the fund will be routed through registrar. No? GUJCOST will never recognize this is the segment. He will recognize the registrar and the Bhavana University.
Okay, I think that concludes the session. Okay, we have a question from last.
I think we can take the questions during high now.
Okay.
Hello sir. Sir, જે રીતે કોપીરાઇટમાં લાઇસન્સિંગ અને અસાઇનમેન્ટ્સ હોય છે તો એવી રીતે પેટર્નમાં બી હશે ને
બધું જ હોય ને એવરીથિંગ ઇઝ ધેર પેટન્ટ કોપીરાઇટ તમે સાઇન કરો પહેલા ખબર છે કેટલા
હા
સાઇન કરો સુધી
સાઇન કરો અને પ્લસ લાઈફ ટાઈમ ઓફ
પછી તો એને એમાં આવ્યું કે ઓલ ઇટ ડિપેન્ડ ઓન કોપીરાઇટ હોલ્ડર નો મારી પાસે પેઇન્ટિંગ છે મારી પાસે 50 પેઇન્ટિંગ તો મારા 50 પેઇન્ટિંગ મારે કઈ રીતે વેચવાનું મારે એની સાથે ડીલ કરવું પડે because I am the owner of sole owner of this IP.
ઓકે સર બટ સર પેટર્નમાં બી એવી જ વસ્તુ હશે ને કે પેટર્નમાં બી લાઇસન્સિંગ અને અસાઇનમેન્ટ આવતા હશે ને
ઇવન બધી જ વસ્તુ છે તમે સમજો કે ખાલી પેટન્ટ લો અને કોપીરાઇટ જોઈ લો એટલે બધું સમજાય.
ઓકે સર થેન્ક યુ
Okay. Okay, so that concludes the question answer session. So I thank our very esteemed panel here. And Dr. Desai, on behalf of everyone present here today, I want to express our heartfelt gratitude for a truly brilliant and interactive session on the topic of IP for Viksit Bharat. And your expertise and the encouraging manner in which you have shared your insight were truly invaluable. I request Dr. Sahu to present a memento as a token of our appreciation. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, as we come to the conclusion of this enriching program, I invite Shri Aman Srivastav, sir, Examiner of Patent and Design Intellectual Property Office, Delhi, to deliver the vote of thanks.
So I'll start with the theme of this year's National Youth Day, 2026. Does anyone know what is the theme of National Youth Day 2026? By any chance? It's Ignite the Self and Impact the World. And I truly congratulate every one of us, Sahu sir, the entire team of GUJCOST, Desai sir. We have truly reflected the theme of this year's National Youth Day. This program, Let's Talk IP, has ignited the self. The ignition has already begun, and it is going to continue for next 12 months. And the next part is what we all have to achieve together to create the impact in the world. So I want something in return from here when I go back to Delhi today, that I want every one of us here to work on at least one IP in the coming 6 months. So whatever IP you choose, it can be a patent, it can be a copyright, design, GI, but we can try to register one IP. We can try to file one IP on our name. Thank you. So I extend my warm thanks to all the speakers, all the resource persons, again to the entire organization team of GUJCOST. It was really a pleasure being here. On this note, I once thank everyone for their presence and support. I wish Let's Talk IP every success in the days to come. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. And as we reflect on innovation and progress, let us also reaffirm our unity and commitment to the nation. May I request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.